welcome back to Consider This. Melisa and Ibrahim here with you. Now let's turn our attention to China, where the Chinese government has announced that it is imposing a curfew on online gaming for minors. Now gamers under the age of 18 years old will be banned from playing online from between 10 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Sounds very China.
They will also be restricted to 90 minutes of gaming on weekdays and 3 hours on weekends and holidays. Now, not just the time limit there, but there's also spending limits. So 8 to 16-year-olds can spend only up to 200 yuan, that is about 120 ringgit per month on their gaming accounts, and 16 to 18-year-olds can spend slightly more, 235 ringgit or 400 yuan for their spending limit. Now, all this is all part of China's move to curb video game addiction, which officials say is damaging to children's health there. However, how is this going to impact the esports industry, given that China is one of the world's biggest gaming markets? We have on the line to discuss this further Firdaus Hashim, or better known as MasterRamen. Firdaus, thanks so much for joining us today. Now,
thank you for inviting.
What did you make of this news, Firdaus, when you heard about it, especially in light of the 20 million ringgit allocation in budget 2020 to develop the local esports industry? So what do you think?
It's surprising that China, the one of the biggest gaming and esports industry, is enforcing such rules. There's a pro and con for sure, but I think there's more power to the case lah. But it's very calm. But it will impact on the esport and gaming industry for sure.
Firdaus, there's a lot of harms that was mentioned by the Chinese government, including nearsightedness, including the distraction of studies and so on. How harmful are e-games? I mean, I sound like an uncle, but how harmful are e-games to children?
For me, if you didn't control it at all, it will be very addicted, and it will bring all the negativity to the kids. But if with a proper control, it should be good, because esport, if the such rules will disturb the grassroots development of the esport. When you want to raise a new athlete, for sure it will impact the new athletes coming up in the future. But I think this is more to it's like giving a strong message to all the young kids that they shouldn't forget their studies, something like that.
That's true. I mean, I just want to touch back on that issue of, how unhealthy or how harmful gaming is, because last year the World Health Organization listed gaming addiction, which they called gaming disorder, as a mental health condition. This was the first time that they had acknowledged this. I'm just wondering how prevalent this is. I mean, just in your experience, Firdaus, have you seen gaming addiction, or are you also inflicted with gaming addiction?
I'm working as game is my work, so I don't think it's that
it's a professional. It's your career. Yes.
But I have seen some players or some kids that are very addicted to games. They don't go to dinner with family anymore, so they sleep very late at night. So this is not a very good activities for the kids, So this kind of rules enforced, it should be. I mean, we shouldn't look at it as a very bad thing, because maybe there's another way. Maybe you those kids that have a talent to become an esports athlete. Maybe you make assumption for them if they are recognized as an athlete, because we have a lot of youngsters that below 18 that play on a professional level. So this kind of player, maybe you can make assumptions on them because they are professional players.
Well, I don't mean to focus on the negative, Firdaus, but the idea that the Chinese government feels that they had to step in and regulate this industry means that they I guess acknowledge there is a problem. Now, one of the issues that they mentioned was myopia, or nearsightedness in children. Apparently, a report in 2015 found that 500 million Chinese children suffered from visual impairment, and this is nearly half the population over 5 years old. So I guess a significant case, and they want to kind of take a closer look at what's happening here. Do you think there is a significant correlation between, nearsightedness and I guess the impact to damage to the eyesight with the amount of time that one gamer spends playing? I see you two wear glasses. Firdaus, do you have any comments on this?
I mean, this is very subjective issue. It's not. But for me, a lot of if you look at the PC or you look at TVs too long, it will affect your eyes for sure. And so you cannot just blame games only. So it's the device itself. So there's some professional team, they have a special spec for their players to reduce the UV whatever from the screen to their eyes on. So if you play the game for like 10 hours, 12 hours per day, for sure it will impact you. If you watch TV 12 hours per day, also it will impact you. So it's not really fair if you just to blame it on the game itself. But if you didn't, if you really didn't control the kids, you allow everything. I mean, they just play all the time. So it for sure will bring a very bad impact to the kids.
Understood. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Firdaus. Now we're going to come back and have more on Consider This. Make sure you stay tuned.